Hello friend and welcome to my channel. I'm Dani Walker. This is the Miss Earth 2020 recap. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I'm super excited to talk about this. It's gonna be so different just because it is now a virtual pageant. So before I get started, because we got lots to talk about, I wanna remind you that if you love content like this, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you know when brand new episodes come out. So let's get into it. The show started by unveiling a top 20, and because the top 20 competed for swim, they received a question and gown. I don't really have time to go through all of them. That would be a 1 hour long video, and I don't think a lot of you are here for that. So we're gonna start with swim, and I'm gonna point out my favorites and what I loved about them. The first one was Ivory Coast, and she immediately caught my attention with her video because of her hair, her swimsuit, the imagery, the colors. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so well done. It's so interesting to see what contestants are doing when they have this option to create their own video footage. I feel like that is such an advantage, and there's so much room for creativity. So there's actually some really great opportunities that we're seeing now with virtual pageants. Of course, I love seeing the contestants on stage and in front of a live audience, but in the meantime, I think we're gonna see some really cool things. Japan, I love that she was really naturally beautiful in this video and that she was walking. I was surprised that some of the other contestants didn't feature very much walking in their swimsuit videos, and that's something that I wanted to see because that's something that we're missing because we're not seeing all of these competitions on stage. Kenya was super fit, and I love that she showed off her walk in her video. Myanmar had a great shape and really great posing. I just wanted to see some more face shots of her. Philippines was amazing. She was so well prepared. I loved her entire video. Fabulous job. Puerto Rico instantly caught my attention. She's so beautiful. Love the video, love the swimsuit. I really want the swimsuit. I just loved everything about it, and she performed so well. South Africa had the most genuine smile, and that's what really made me a fan of her. USA, the first thing I noticed is how fit she is. Oh my gosh, she really is striking on camera, and I feel like that was a huge advantage for her. Venezuela killed it for me, but when do they not? Venezuela is such a strong country, and yeah, I just loved the swimsuit performance. Then after this, each of the contestants had an opportunity to respond to a hashtag. So they could say anything that they wanted about this hashtag, which I think is a really fun and cool challenge. I like to see the creativity that they bring to their answers. My favorites for this were Denmark. She talked about renewable energy, and I felt like she had so much passion behind her answer. Japan did a really great job answering her question. I felt like it was a very pageant-y answer, but she said it really well. And the one thing I would say that distracted me is that she was blinking a lot on camera. I don't know why that was, but that's something to think about when you're doing things on camera. Kenya was very confident, which made me a fan, and she just spoke so well. So I thought she did an excellent job. She was one of my faves for this challenge. Philippines was really smart when she answered her question because her hashtag was compassion, and she actually was able to tie that into the environment and her advocacy, so I thought that was awesome. Puerto Rico spoke really naturally. She was almost too casual, but I actually preferred that because I thought some of the other answers sounded rehearsed. South Africa just was solid in her answer. What she said and how she said it was right on. My note for USA is that I wish she didn't pause so much between her sentences. Aside from that, phenomenal job. It was really smart that she talked about what she would do if she were Miss Earth. Venezuela's hashtag was rainforest, and she talked about real suggestions that she would give for preserving the environment and saving it. I thought it was a really smart answer. She delivered it so well, one of my favorites. If you love this channel, please support it by taking a screenshot of this episode, post it to an Instagram story, then tag and hashtag me at Dani Walker. Let me know what you think, and while you're at it, please give me a follow as well. The next competition is my favorite. It is evening gown. Comment below what your favorite area of competition is. I've always loved this one because we get to see so much of the contestants' style. My first favorite was Germany. I really liked her gown just because it was different. I know that it's Miss Earth and everybody wants to be green, but I feel like we see too many green gowns at Miss Earth, and a lot of the times it's really hard to do a green gown well. I just don't think that with the fabrics and the mixture of color that it really pops and stands out. So I was happy to see Germany's gown. I thought she looked beautiful. Myanmar. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for this glam. This was so fabulous. My note for her was coming for the crown. That's how I felt. Nigeria, she really showed up in gown for me. I was truly blown away, and I wish that her styling was this beautiful and consistent for the rest of the competition. I actually got to judge this year for the Africa delegates for the national costume. I was so honored to do so. It was so fun to watch. I learned so much about all of the contestants' cultures, and Nigeria ended up being selected as the national costume winner for the Africa delegate. So I was super excited to see her success and that I got to be a little part of that. Philippines. She had such a cool shot in her gown. I thought it was phenomenal. The gown itself was incredible, but I like, when does Philippines not show up to a pageant though, right? Like, she was so phenomenal. Obviously, she's a huge fan fave, but for great reasons. Puerto Rico. Loved this gown. I've seen it before. I cannot remember the designer. If you know the designer, comment below. And I thought that she did a fabulous job. She was a standout for me. Singapore really stood out to me in gown. Also during the hashtag round, I thought that when she spoke, she sounded like a host, which was great. But I really loved her in gown because these shots, she just seemed so sweet and looked so beautiful in them. USA, oh my gosh, she is just so stunning. Just everything. She's super fit, she's so beautiful, she walked well, she does well on camera, just everything about it. Love, 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 love. Yay, go USA. Venezuela, loved this gown and the straight hair and the earrings, just everything about it. I loved the video footage of it, all of it, such a package. She was so well done. At the end, there was a top 8 and each of them got asked the same question. Basically, they were mentioning that there was a lot of what you would call fake news this year, conspiracy theories, and all sorts of uncertainty. How do you reconcile that with the truth? Puerto Rico had a great answer and she talked about her advocacy. I absolutely loved her and I think she did a phenomenal job answering her question. Poland was very calm in her response, and because she didn't seem to have a lot of reaction, I felt really bored, frankly, watching it with the delivery. She didn't seem very interested, in my opinion. I love how happy Philippines is whenever she speaks, and that just makes my heart happy. So I thought she did a really great job. She spoke so well, and she didn't seem to stumble, just phenomenal. Immediately in my top picks. Venezuela at first seemed a little bit nervous to me, but as she went on, her answer got stronger. Netherlands. She sounded really rehearsed in my opinion, but she looked really beautiful. I loved that gown on her. Myanmar. She looked so beautiful to me. What I believe hurt her placement is that when she delivered the answer, she didn't seem very approachable. There wasn't much spontaneity in her answer, and you have to consider that when you think about how is your title holder going to interact or speak for television appearances or for public events. I felt like USA was the only contestant who actually answered this question, and she did go over time, which obviously didn't count against her in the end, but she did give some suggestions for how you can seek out truthful news sources or information, and I think that's what helped her. Denmark did pretty well at the beginning, and then she got cut off because of the time limit. It surprised me that she continued to speak well over the time limit and how much that startled her. So honestly, when I saw the placements, which are, let's talk about that. Fire was Denmark, so that surprised me. I personally had Puerto Rico in that top 4 because of how Denmark answered her question, but still I had Denmark up there. She would have actually been right after Puerto Rico for me. This was really tough. Water was Philippines, air was Venezuela, and then earth was USA. So I thought that the top 4 were super, super strong. I overall agreed with how things were progressing throughout the show. I think that it was awesome that they were able to still hold a virtual competition, and I know that we're all really excited and looking forward to getting back to normal pageants, which I can't wait for. But overall, great job to the Miss Earth organization for really pushing through and providing these opportunities to young women. I'm super excited because our new Miss Earth USA is already going to be crowned in January of 2021. So that's really exciting that we'll now get to see our new queen and that our Earth USA won Earth for the first time in history. So USA has been progressing really, really well. I'd say within the last 5 years or so, we've had a lot of placements with title holders and been so close. Last year, Imani was Miss Earth Air. And I felt like it was just a matter of time before we got an international title for Earth. So congratulations to Lindsay, our USA representative. Super excited for you and proud of you. I loved her reaction. It was so sweet. If you haven't seen it already, honestly, go watch it. It's worth the watch. She was truly surprised and didn't know if it was actually real. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I hope that you really enjoyed it. And of course, I'm always here to offer tips and resources to all of you out there. And if you guys want to get a copy of my free positive affirmations, which are super important in changing your mindset and developing a growth mindset versus a fixed one, then just click the description below and you'll find a link to those there. I really appreciate you joining me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, that you're going to give it a thumbs up, to share it with your friends, and come back for lots more.